Before I came to IPE, I was working as a health and nutrition coach, and really for about a year and a half. And um, and I was doing the coaching work, and I was working part-time at a gym, and then I was working part-time at a yoga studio, and just really wanting to be smart about things. I was working in coffee shops and seeing clients, but when I started to do the work with IPE, it wasn't quite safe to be seeing clients at a coffee shop because it got a lot more intimate. And my journey with the financial piece, it's been very incremental and very lots of synchronicity. So when I became committed to the work, when it not working out was no longer an option for me, then things started to take shape. And I would find, an office that worked, that financially felt great and had opportunity with other holistic practitioners to collaborate. And eventually, it was probably 3 years ago, I took the leap to make this my full-time work and dedicate my heart and my energy to doing this. And it not working wasn't an option. So now I have a full-time practice. I'm in the office a few days a week. 1 day a week I'll work virtually, and wearing a lot of hats right now and being smart about overhead. But the payoff is great, and I'm still growing. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. What IPE offered the most was really, to me, they're like sacred strategies. That it's not so left-brained. It's not so trying to do the right thing or trying to fix my client, but being able to hold a slow and soft and gentle space, how to hear what is being said without the client maybe saying it. And really, IPE, Mark really helped me see what is really at the crux, what drives human behavior, what is underneath this, and how to make my client's story right. Yeah, I mean, there's so much more than that, but it's about, IPE really the training has helped me connect to my own humanity and the whole thing, to witness what does it mean to be a human who eats. What I love most is it being so person-specific, that it's a blend of both science, but then it goes so much deeper. It really focuses on the heart and soul of the person. And so it's fun. It's really fun to witness a person. They come in feeling like there's a specific problem that they're having, and if they're open and willing to receive the teaching that their problem is there to give them, it can put them in touch with their own humanity, can help them learn to trust themselves, learn to listen to their body, learn to be an ally and cheerleader for themselves in this journey. And so to even be able to be there and be a presence in that way, or even give this person permission to go there, to reframe their life story in a different way. It can be magical. It's a beautiful thing. I mainly work with women, but mainly it's just the people that tend to gravitate towards my work anyways. But it's across the spectrum. Usually there are women that know a lot about nutrition and know all the right things to do, but for some reason they're stuck and frustrated and ashamed, that they feel like there's things going on with their eating or having problem patterns that their intellect can't seem to help them out with. And I think they're people that are kind of at a level of readiness that they've tried everything else, and now they're ready to do deeper work. I had a client too, and this was some time ago, but she was sort of came in to my office with activist sort of energy, where she would tell me she would get into these heated arguments with her family members because she was so in tune and in touch with like the local food movement and the humane treatment of animals, and would get into these arguments, and then her voice would soften, and it was almost like confession. And she would tell me when that she was out running errands by herself, she would find herself pulling into the drive-through of a local fast food chain and getting a couple things that she would feel really bad if anybody knew, and she would eat them very quickly, and then she would discard the evidence. And it was amazing how ashamed this woman felt. And for her, and this is where the work becomes totally counterintuitive and really really important to see what can happen when we give our clients permission. Because for this woman, the work was, okay, next time you're out and about and you want to go and pick up this food, call your husband and get his order and go pick it up and bring it home and get the nice plates out and like make it ritual, bring it into the light, make it okay. And there was the medicine. And once she could bring that into consciousness, over time, she didn't want it as much. And she was more attuned to how she felt, wanting to feel good, rather than this kind of acting out. So that's where it gets a little edgy, because traditional, wearing our nutritionist caps, we can get caught up in always having to do the right thing. And sometimes the right thing is, what is the right thing for this person? There's something that's so deeply moving to me about witnessing a person heal, that if I made it just about the food or just about them eating the right thing, that I would be doing a great disservice to myself and to the client. I would lose inspiration in the work, and they would walk out just feeling like there's more information. So what keeps me inspired is witnessing transformation and witnessing people become self-trusting again, an ally to themselves, and trusting life a little bit more. It feels like it's about food, but it's just it's the in. And really, it's like the thing that we're talking about now. Everybody's talking about nutrition. Everybody wants to get healthy. So what more workable of a place is there than to work with people around eating? And it'll take you into the body and beyond it in a really powerful way. So, yeah, that keeps me inspired. What this has meant for me, it's the work of the feminine. So in terms of where do I feel I'm being called through this work, feminine empowerment, and that could mean so many things. It could mean food and eating. It could mean somatic psychology, like learning to read the language of the body, shamanic practices, earth-honoring wisdom, all of these things, instinctual things that they're all really tied together. And we're craving it, we're wanting it, and it's showing up by getting smushed sideways through these eating issues and disconnection from our natural selves and with nature. So, the direction I'm being called is to keep moving towards what's natural and championing that and helping my clients do the same thing. See what happens. So when I mention I do work with nutrition and eating psychology, sometimes people will assume that I work with people with eating disorders, and it's a disservice, because there's this whole other huge subset of people that don't have clinically diagnosable eating disorders, but are having a really difficult time navigating their relationship with food. So they're not an inpatient treatment, but they don't feel like they have it together with their eating and feel really frustrated. So sometimes it takes a little bit of explaining, but the work is for anybody that eats. It'll take you right into your own heart, and just getting past the eating disorder sort of umbrella, people can understand it more, that I suffer or I struggle with overeating sometimes, or I have a list of good and bad foods, or I judge other people for what they eat, or I am spending a tremendous amount of time and energy investing in eating well or not well. So, yeah, it's for everyone. There's always a market for this work, basically. I mean, if people are eating, there's work to be done. So